Hello and welcome to Bourbon, Forage, Fishing. I'm your host Ryan. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about the bourbon market. We're going to be seeing a lot of trends unfolding here in the future. As I've predicted year and a half, 2 years ago, the bourbon market is going to go through a collapse and a reconciliation, a reformation, and some pretty big changes. And we've already seen a really large collapse in the secondary bourbon market. I'm seeing 30-40% collapses in some bottles. Sales, I believe, are down in the spirits markets across the board in whiskey, Scotch, American whiskey generally. The sales in limited release type stuff, higher end stuff, is up slightly, but all your other stuff, the sales are down. And basically, we're going through in 2022 and 2023, we had stagnant sales, actual declining sales slightly. And I think in 24, we're going to see a continuation of this. We're going to see a declining sales in the whiskey bourbon markets. So, what does that mean for consumers? If you are new to the whiskey world, this is going to be a tricky time because you're going to be faced with a lot of gimmickry. We're going to be seeing a lot of artificially hyped, limited release type stuff. We're going to see a lot of gimmickry in the bourbon industry. I mean, we've already started seeing it. But distillers, distributors are now going to try to come up with little schemy type tricks and contests and special bottles and special designs and all these things to try to get you to buy their products. Why? Because, well, they got used to increasing sales over the past decade, and some of those increases were massive. And over the course of 10 decades, you're looking at massive growth of sales. Like most companies, these companies are all terribly ran by, and most of them are ran by morons who are going to end up overcommitting in terms of production, in terms of price increases, etc., expecting the sales to keep going up and up and up, never properly preparing for the future, which unfortunately, like I said, most companies are ran by morons. A lot of these companies are going to go under. A lot of these companies are going to have stagnated sales. A lot of these companies are going to get the hurt put on them bad economically. And this is easily foreseeable. Any company worth two shits would have saw this burst of demand in the market and very strategically and very conservatively created production growth in their companies, right? So adding new warehouses slowly, adding a new distiller slowly over the course of time, looking at sales as they're doing this, right? Not going gung-ho and buying whole new facilities, 75 new distilleries or 3 new distilleries and 27 warehouses and all this stuff which companies were doing. None of that's sustainable, right? A smart company would have grown slower than the demand was increasing. So if you have 5 or 6% increase in demand and sales, you grow 2 or 3% to compensate. You always grow under what the new demand is. Why? Well, because when the economic bubble pops, you're sitting in a really nice place and everybody else is collapsing. And they've overcommitted and they're done. So that's what you're going to see in a nutshell. You're going to see an overcommitment of a bunch of distilleries. A whole bunch of distilleries are going to go under. They're going to go bankrupt. A lot of blenders are going to go under. They're going to go bankrupt. And as they're competing for demand for product, there's two things that they can either do. They can either age their whiskey longer and make it a better product, make it a higher quality product, or they can try sales gimmickry, right? So the companies that overcommitted, who are ran by morons, are going to go the moronic route, which is sales gimmickry, right? Watch out. This is a warning, especially to new bourbon drinkers. People who have been drinking bourbon for 3 years, 4 years. This is all old news. They understand. An experienced drinker is not going to get hyped up on a bottle. This is for young guys. There's going to be a plethora, an explosion of hype bottles. There's going to be an explosion of gimmickry don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Be conservative. Wait out. Watch for reviews. Multiple reviews, right? Don't trust one reviewer on YouTube. That's the worst thing you can do. There's a fair amount of YouTube reviewers that are, quite honestly, paid to make certain reviews for certain companies. So you want to look at multiple sources, look at your Reddits, look at your Google, look at your YouTube, TikTok, go through all those. And before you start dropping $150, $200 for a bottle, be careful, because, like I said, a lot of gimmickry, a lot of BS going to be coming into the bourbon market. Also, this is also an exciting time because companies that are ran correctly are going to see this as an opportunity to age their product longer, right? They're going to age their product longer. So you're going to see companies that are ran poorly, overcommitted, and they're going to rely on gimmickry. Their quality is going to stagnate or go down, and they're going to rely on psychological tricks to get you to sale. The other companies that have increased production more conservatively are going to have the resources and the know-how to age their stuff longer. So I think we're going to come into a situation where demand is going to lower, and it's going to force producers to create longer aged, older products of higher quality. So it's going to be a really neat time. Decreased demand equals higher quality and better prices. So if you play it smart here in the next 4 or 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years, I think we're going to see an explosion of very high quality bourbon, alongside an explosion of gimmickry and basically party tricks and garbage placed out in the public sphere. So exciting time. This is an exciting time for the bourbon market. It's neat to watch, and I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bourbon Fort Fiction. Get out there and get high quality bourbon. Don't fall for these stupid gimmicks that are out there. Don't fall for tricks. Be smart. Do your research. Figure out what you like and drink that bad boy. Get a good price for it.